So what we're doing is what we call a weekend at Zakar, and the idea behind this is simply that it's better to go riding with a group than it is to go out by yourself and spend the night in a hotel somewhere, having dinner with people you don't know. So every month or so we're doing a weekend at Zakar, and today it's the first day of our weekend. We are heading out to the Husky Monument, but we're right here at the confluence of the Mojave-Randsburg Road and the historic 20 Mule Team Road. So we'll tell you more about that, and then you'll see something in a link below about the historic road. But it's a beautiful day here in the California deserts. It's like, I don't know, 65 degrees and sunny. So for those of you that live in cold country, this is the place to be. All right, let's get on with the day. Well, alrighty, it's day one of our weekend in Zakar, and I got about 8 or 9 riders trailing behind me as we head out to the Husky Monument. And the Husky Monument is this beautiful art installation out in the middle of the doggone desert. And we'll add more to the video when we get there, but it's really worth a little adventure to come out and see it. It's basically a tribute to riders who have passed away but that love the desert. So here we go. Fingers crossed we don't hit any deep sand. Thank goodness it rained a couple days ago and things are packed down a little bit, because I'm riding 2 up with my daughter, and that's precious cargo. Don't want to drop that in the sand. And there it is, America. Just a beautiful, beautiful day out here. So we're here at a place called the Husky Monument, and I don't actually know the whole real background story, but what I understand is that many years ago, like 20, 25 years ago, a man who just absolutely loved riding his Husky, or his Husqvarna out here in the desert, passed away, and as a memorial to him, his family came out here, dug a hole in the ground, filled it full of wet cement, and plopped his motorcycle into the cement to make a memorial. But over the last years, many, many, many other people have come out and created some incredible works of art. Well, here we are in a place called Inscription Canyon. It's not too far from the Husky Monument, but it's actually quite a challenging little road to get in out here. Lots of sand, and there was a recent storm, mud puddles everywhere, which makes the soil really slippery. But here in Inscription Canyon, it's one of the largest collections of petroglyphs around. And you can see some of these here. They're all over the walls of this narrow little slot canyon. So it's just kind of cool to come see ancient artwork in the middle of the Mojave Desert. So it was a long day today. We went out to the Husky Monument, we went on to Inscription Canyon, which has these amazing petroglyphs. But it just was, we probably bit off a little more than we could chew. We had a couple guys that were struggling in the sand, which slowed us down a little. But at the end of the day, when everybody gets sand, it's certainly all worthwhile. Well, we're coming into the semi-living ghost town of Randsburg. Randsburg, California is a vestige of the gold mining past from the Mojave Desert. And there's still quite a few folks who live here, but the town's definitely seen better days. But still, it's a cool place, and it's just a little tiny glimpse of Western history. And it's very motorsports friendly. The general store coming up here on the right used to be the home of the longest operating soda fountain in the state of California, but it closed down just recently. COVID kind of took it, but the joint, the local beer bar, is still active, and right here there's public restrooms. So I think we'll give the guys a stop right across the street from the Rand Motor Company. All right, we are currently at a place called the X15 Crash Site, which is a monument to a pilot, and actually I don't know his name, I should go check it out. But in the early days of America's space program, we developed this part plane, part rocket. It had to be launched actually from another airplane. They'd fly it up, they'd get up to 30,000 feet and drop it, and then they would do the experiments that they were trying to learn how hypersonic flight worked. And sadly, one day, one of the X-15s went out of control and crashed right here. So they've built a really cool memorial to the pilot. And it just kind of makes you think about all of the things that have happened behind the scenes as our space program developed and our military evolved and everything. This is part of it. So it's a cool place. It's a beautiful setting out here in the middle of the Mojave Desert. So all part of a weekend at Zakar. So the third and final stop of our second day for the weekend of Zakar ended up at the Trona Pinnacles. And the Trona Pinnacles are actually sort of like coral that grew out of the floor of an ancient lake bed. And the landscape there is so surreal that many science fiction movies have been filmed there. Battlestar Galactica, Planet of the Apes, an early Star Trek episode was filmed there. So whenever Hollywood wants to find a background that looks like another planet, they come to the Trona Pinnacles.
The high point was the Pinnacles. That was really cool. And then at the same time, the low point was the fact that I flipped a GS 1250, a 600-pound bike, did a somersault, landed on my ass, and knocked the wind out of me.
The best riding, literally, that I think in California is right in your back door. And I think it's going to be the ultimate hangout for adventure motorcycles. I think it's going to be ideal.
You think you're a good rider until you come out and play in the sand. Yes. It definitely humbles you. But it's good training, good people, good times, good food, quality.